July 31st, this is loud with care, but something in the structure already cracked. I'm seeing you still showing up, still feeding the room, still holding the line. But the line is not holding you back. The Empress. The Empress is the first thing in the room, and she is about abundance, nurture, creativity, and sensuality. This card says you know how to make something beautiful out of a messy season. You keep things alive. You make sure people eat. You make sure the house looks fine. But the Empress also asks if you are feeding everyone before yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If you have been overgiving, if you have been measuring your worth by output, that has to stop. The Empress is not a trophy for exhaustion. She is rest. She is support. She is receiving what is already trying to reach you. Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about curiosity, questions, observation, and truth. This card has you checking the details before you react. You read the text twice, you notice the story changes. You ask the direct question instead of pretending you did not hear what you heard. Because Page of Swords is not telling you to spiral. It is telling you to verify. If somebody's words and actions do not match, page them. Ask again. Get the receipt. The Page of Swords wants your mind awake, not anxious. Use your eyes. Use your voice. Stop filling in blanks with fear. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Pentacles reversed is about instability, inheritance, family tension, and security that does not feel secure anymore. Page of Swords shows the old plan cracking. The family money talk gets tense. The support you expected is not showing up clean. The tradition looks good from the outside, but inside it is strained. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Ten of Pentacles reversed is not saying you failed the legacy. It is saying the legacy may already be failing you. Don't cling to appearances. Don't stay loyal to dysfunction because it came with a last name, a house, or a promise. Redefine security. Build support outside the old structure. Name the pattern out loud. And this is the moment. Abundance and care are present, but something has already broken. So you do not keep pouring into the crack like it is going to seal itself. You pause. You ask what is real. You stop calling strain normal. You stop calling overwork love. You stop calling instability family. You knew this already. The room needs your warmth, yes, but it also needs your boundaries. The Empress says tend what is growing. Page of Swords says question what does not add up. Ten of Pentacles reverse says the old foundation is not enough anymore. So today you protect your value, you check the facts. You build from what is true, not from what looks impressive. Leo, July 31st. This is not asking you to keep performing strength. It is asking you to look at what is already done. The body knows before the mouth says it. The Empress. The Empress is where your real power comes back through care, not control. This card is about abundance, nurture, creativity, and sensuality. So look at what you have been feeding and who you have been feeding first. If you have been making everyone comfortable while you run on empty, that is the problem. The Empress says, stop measuring your value by output. Sit down, eat, rest. Let something beautiful grow without you forcing it every hour. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is the hard ending. The truth already landed, and the denial is the part that is bleeding you out. 10 of Swords is ending, betrayal, exhaustion, release. So if you are rereading the last text, replaying the last conversation, or trying to make a dead situation, breathe again, stop. Actually, no, stop now. Name what ended. Say it plainly. Do not keep your hand on the wreckage and call it hope. The pain is real, but the pain is not your identity. Page of Swords. Page of Swords is the watcher, the questions, the checking, the need to verify before you react. Page of Swords is curiosity, observation, truth. I'm seeing a pattern here. You notice something off, then you almost talk yourself out of it. Don't check the receipt. Read the message again. Ask the direct question. Send the clarifying text. Just do not turn suspicion into a personality. Page of Swords wants facts, not fantasies. It wants your mind awake, not spiraling in the dark. Ten of Pentacles reversed. 10 of Pentacles reversed is where the old security story starts to crack. This reversal is instability in family, money, legacy, and the things people told you were supposed to feel safe. Hold on. If the people around you keep calling dysfunction tradition, that is not safety. That is pressure with better packaging. This card says redefine security. Build support outside the old structure. If the family conversation gets tense around money, inheritance, or expectations, do not shrink to keep the peace. Do not inherit what is broken just because it has a familiar name. So the moment is this: the Empress you nourished. 10 of Swords wants you honest. Page of Swords wants you alert. And 10 of Pentacles reversed wants you free from inherited instability. That is the whole message. 10 what is alive, name what is dead. Ask the question. And stop proving loyalty to systems that never held you properly. in the first place. Leo, July 31st. This is where the room gets honest, whether people like it or not. The Empress is the first pressure point here. The Empress is about nurture, abundance, and self-worth, and it asks who has been feeding everybody else while running on empty. I'm seeing the pattern clearly. You kept making it look beautiful while the foundation was still messy. You gave, you covered, you softened the edges. But the Empress does not ask you to bleed for the table. She asks you to sit down at it. Stop measuring your value by what you can produce for other people. Start tending what is actually growing for you. 10 of Swords is the hard stop. 10 of Swords is ending, betrayal, exhaustion, release, and it does not negotiate with denial. You read the last text twice. You replayed the sentence. You already knew the trust was gone, but you stayed in the wreckage because it was familiar. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You stayed because calling it over would mean admitting how much it hurt. This moment says, name it, let it end. Do not keep resurrecting what is dead just because the silence feels loud. The pain is real, but it is not your identity. The Chariot comes in like a hand on the wheel. The Chariot is willpower, direction, discipline, victory, and it says choose a lane. Not 5-1. You cannot drive forward while checking every mirror for permission. Block the distraction. Make the call. Stick to it. This is not about forcing a smile over a bruise. This is about moving with intention after the collapse. You do not need perfect certainty. You need a direction and the nerve to hold it. Page of Swords is the watcher in the corner. Page of Swords is curiosity, questions, observation, truth, and it wants receipts, not assumptions. Look again. Someone's story is not matching the timeline. You notice that? You felt it in your body before you could explain it. So ask the direct question, send the clarifying text, check the details before you react, and call suspicion intuition, though. This card wants clean eyes, not paranoia. Stay alert, not consumed. 10 of Pentacles reversed is the fracture under the family table. 10 of Pentacles reversed is instability, inheritance, family tension, security, and it shows the old structure is not holding everyone equally. The people who were supposed to know better may be the ones keeping the pattern alive. That is the tension. You are being asked to redefine safety without chasing approval from a broken system. If the tradition costs your peace, it is not security. It is loyalty to instability. Build outside the old script. So this is pain, yes. But it is also movement. The Empress says you still matter. 10 of Swords says stop pretending the wound is not there. The Chariot says take the wheel anyway. Page of Swords says verify everything. Ten of Pentacles reversed says the old foundation was never as solid as they claimed. Now act like it. The Empress, this card is about what you have been pouring into everything and everyone. The Empress is asking you to stop treating your own needs like they come last. You have been feeding the room, holding the mood, making things beautiful while your body keeps asking for rest. If you keep overgiving, the well runs dry. Page of Swords, this card is the sharp eye. The Page of Swords is telling you to look twice and ask once cleanly. I'm seeing a moment where the story is not matching the facts. So check the text, check the tone. Check what was said and what was avoided. You do not need to accuse, you do need to verify. Ten of Swords, this card is the hard stop. The Ten of Swords says the collapse is not imaginary and it is not something you can sweet talk back into place. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You already know what is dead here. You saw the last message. You felt the drop in your chest. Stop resurrecting what already ended. The Chariot, this card is about moving with discipline after the truth lands. The Chariot says pick the lane and stay in it. No more circling back because the memory is loud. No more letting emotion grab the wheel. Make the call, lock the boundary. Keep moving even if your hands are shaking a little. Three of Cups reversed. The Chariot shows the social circle is not holding you the way it should. The Three of Cups reversed is showing a room that looks connected but feels empty when you are actually in it. You may be smiling through the tension. You may be leaving the group chat on read. You may be realizing the attention is there, but the care is not. Step back from the performance. Ten of Pentacles reversed. This card is the old structure cracking at the base. The Ten of Pentacles reverse says the thing that was supposed to feel stable may be built on strain, tension, or inherited dysfunction. Hold on. This is not just about money or family logistics. It is about what you were taught to call security. If the system keeps asking you to shrink, stay quiet, or tolerate chaos, it is not safety, the Empress again. This card brings the return to self. The Empress says your value is not measured by how much you carry. Feed yourself first, rest first, create from fullness, not depletion. Make the beautiful thing after the messy season, not during the burnout. Page of Swords again. This card keeps you honest. Ask the direct question. Read the receipt. Notice the inconsistency. Do not build a whole story from one anxious thought. Use your mind like a tool, not a weapon. The Chariot again. This card closes the moment with motion. The Chariot is saying the truth has already cleared the road. Now protect your direction. Choose what you are done carrying. Choose what gets access. And move like you mean it. The Empress. This card is about your value coming back into focus. I'm seeing you stop pouring from an empty cup and start feeding your own life first. You've been carrying too much, doing too much, proving too much. Actually, no, not proving. Protecting, there is a difference. The Empress says the work now is simple and hard at the same time. Rest, receive, make something beautiful with what is left. You already knew that. Your body has been asking before your mouth did. 10 of Swords. This card is the clean end, not the dramatic end, the honest one. Something already broke and the lie was trying to keep it standing. Let me rephrase that. You kept standing it up. You kept reading the last text twice. You kept checking for a softer version of the truth. But the 10 of Swords says the truth is already here. The collapse has happened. Stop resurrecting what is dead. Name it. Let it stay finished. That is not failure. That is release. The Chariot, this card is where you take the wheel back, not with panic, with discipline. I'm seeing a hard call made and then kept. No wobbling. No half moving. You choose the lane and you stay in it. This is not about controlling every outcome. It is about refusing to let emotions scatter your direction. You block the distraction. You finish the task. You leave the door closed where it needs to stay closed. The Chariot says victory comes after focus, not before it. 3 of Cups reversed. The Chariot shows the circle getting thin. The party looks fine, but it feels hollow. The text thread is loud, but nobody is really there. You show up and still feel alone. Stop fooling yourself. That is the signal. This reversal is asking you to audit your people, not perform belonging. Step back from the group chat. Step back from the gossip. Step back from the smiling through it dynamic. If the support is fake, it is not support. It is noise. King of Swords reversed. This card is cold logic used the wrong way. Someone may be talking in circles, sounding polished, sounding certain, but the behavior is not matching the words. Hold on. This is where you stop over-explaining to someone committed to misunderstanding you. You do not need to argue with manipulation. You need facts. You need receipts. You need to protect your mind from a narrative that keeps trying to make you doubt what you saw. The King of Swords reversed says cut through the performance. Page of Swords, this card is your alert mind coming online. Curiosity, but sharp. Not paranoid, precise. You ask the direct question. You check the detail. You notice the inconsistency before you hand over your trust. This is not spying. This is verification. If something feels off, you do not guess, you ask. You read the room, you read the message twice, but this time you do it for clarity, not self-punishment. 10 of Pentacles reversed. This card is the old structure showing its cracks. Family, money, legacy, security. Something inherited is not holding. Maybe the plan looks solid from far away, but up close it is strained. This reversal says do not confuse tradition with safety. Do not chase approval from a broken system. Build support outside the old pattern. Redefine what secure actually means. Because what was passed down may not be what protects you now. Wait. This is where the whole thing tightens. The Empress, you are being asked to stop treating your own needs like an afterthought. The Empress is about nurture, abundance, and creative power. And right now that looks like finally resting after you have overworked yourself, the care you forgot to give yourself back. And it looks like feeding everybody before you, then realizing you forgot to eat. It looks like making something beautiful out of a messy season instead of calling yourself a mess. Trust what you are growing. Stop measuring your value by how much you produce. 10 of Swords, this is the hard stop. The 10 of Swords is an ending, and it is not subtle. You already read the last text twice. You already felt the drop in your stomach. You already know what is done. Do not keep resurrecting what is dead because you want the ending you kept trying to soften back in this to mean less than it does. Name the truth. Let the ending land. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Let the ending do its job so you can stop bleeding inside it. The Chariot. This is where you get your hands back on the wheel. The Chariot is disciplined movement, not emotional spiraling. Choose the lane, block the boundary. Make the hard call and stick to it. You do not need perfect certainty to move. You need direction. You need a decision you can live with tomorrow morning. I'm seeing forward motion that comes after the collapse. The wheel you can still take back from not before it. That matters. 3 of Cups reversed. The 3 of Cups reversed is showing social misalignment. You can be in the room and still feel alone. You can answer the group chat and still know the connection is hollow. Stop forcing belonging where the support is fake the circle that stop feeling safe back, and stop smiling through resentment just because everybody else is clinking glasses. Audit the circle. Who shows up with honesty? Who feeds drama? Who only wants your attention, not your truth? You already knew that. King of Swords reversed. The King of Swords reversed is cold logic used as control. This is the person who talks in circles, stays polished, and leaves you confused on purpose. The polished words hiding the control from do not argue with manipulation. Do not over-explain to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Separate facts from fear. Look at behavior, not the speech. If the message feels calculated, it probably is. Protect your mind, protect your lane. Do not hand your clarity to somebody who weaponizes theirs. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords says stay alert and ask the direct question. Check the receipt. Read the message again. Notice the inconsistency. Send the clarifying text instead of building a whole story in your head. Curiosity is your ally here, but paranoia is not. Use your eyes. Use your brain. Verify what you hear before you attach your piece to it. Because this is where you stop guessing and start knowing. Ten of Pentacles reversed. The Ten of Pentacles reversed is unstable security. Family conversations may feel tense. Money, inheritance, support, old expectations, all of it can feel shaky. Do not confuse tradition with safety. Do not cling to appearances just because they look familiar. Redefine what support means. Build outside the broken structure if you have to. If the old plan no longer works, say so. If the people who should know better are not showing up, name that too. This moment is not about losing everything. It is about choosing the truth that rebuilds your life. Disciplined movement restores your agency. Clear questions restore your mind. Honest boundaries restore your worth. And when you stop inheriting dysfunction, you finally get to build security that actually holds. Okay? That's all I've got for now. If this hit, or you already know what to do, please like, subscribe. Tell your group chat. I'll see y'all soon.